Hey guys, hope you're all well and having a good day and a good week so far. If you are new around here, I am Amy and I will be your yoga teacher for the day. And if you're here all the time, then welcome back. I'm glad that you are back to flow with me once again. If you do make it to the end of this class, then I would be really grateful if you could take a second to leave a comment letting me know what you thought of this class, give it a thumbs up so that I know you enjoyed it, and subscribe so that you never miss a practice from me. So this will be like a well-rounded vinyasa flow, a bit strong in places, a bit stretchy in places, just a little bit of everything. And we will be starting today down on our bellies. So maybe feel a little bit of a different place to start from usual. And by switching things up from the shapes where we usually begin our practice, it can help us to connect in and drop in a little bit more. So if things feel a little bit different, if the breath feels different down here, that can help you connect to it, can help center in your awareness so that you're not just getting distracted and your mind isn't drifting away thinking of other things. So resting the head down, I'm just keeping mine lifted so that I don't crush the microphone, but make sure that your head is either supported by the mat, maybe pop a block there, maybe stack the hands so that you can rest the head down on the backs of the palms. Really release the weight of the upper body down into the earth. So notice if you're still holding onto any tension through the head, the neck, the shoulders. See if you can let that go. Softening through the forehead and the space between the eyebrows. Unclenching the teeth, softening through the jaw, maybe wiggling the jaw from side to side. Letting the shoulders relax down away from the ears, broadening through the chest. And notice here where the breath is moving in the body. So rather than feeling it moving into the belly, maybe you notice the back side of the body moving with every breath in and softening downwards with every breath out. Maybe you feel your belly pressing into the earth a little bit more with each inhale, then drawing back away with each exhale. Take a few breaths here, just noticing how even as you lie here in stillness, the breath brings movement into the body. Now let the awareness carry on drifting down towards the hips. Maybe you can feel the hips pressing into the floor. Maybe notice the tops of the thighs melting down into the earth, letting the legs feel soft and heavy and relaxed. Maybe observing that sense of pressure where your body meets the mat, maybe the temperature, the texture of the earth beneath you. Let the awareness drift down towards the feet, the toes. Notice if you're clenching through the toes. See if you can relax them. Just a few more breaths here before we begin to move. Establishing that connection now to our bodies and to our breath so we can carry that with us through this practice. As you inhale, start to lift the head away from the earth or the hands, wherever it was resting. Slide the hands in line with the ribs, spread through the fingers and keep squeezing the elbows in towards the sides of the body. As you inhale, find a little gentle baby cobra, no need to take it too far. Exhale, melt the spine back down. Keep it moving, ripple up as you breathe in, open through the chest. Melt back down as you breathe out. 3 more times. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, soften back down. Last 2, fill the lungs, lift the chest. Empty the lungs, soften the chest down. Last time, inhale, ripple up. Exhale, melt back down. Keep the chest just hovering a few inches above the earth. Start to lift the right leg as high as you can off the mat, pointing through the toes, using the strength of the right glute and the right hamstring to lift that leg even a little bit higher. Take 1 more big breath in, lift it a little bit more. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift the left leg as high as you can off the floor. Keep breathing. 1 more big breath in, lift it a tiny little bit higher. Lower it back down as you breathe out. Now alternate between the 2. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, lower. Let's do 2 more each way to the right. Back down, lift the left. Drop it down. Last time, right. And lower, and left. And lower. This time, lift both legs off the floor. Keep them lifted. Notice if they're trying to splay apart away from one another. Keep the heels in line with the hips here. Lift them a little bit higher. Breathe in. Drop them back down as you breathe out. Now keep the legs down. Inhale, push the floor away. Lift the chest even higher. Then as you exhale, lower the chest down and lift both legs. It's like a seesaw. Inhale, legs down, chest lifts. Exhale, over the other way. Keep it moving. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more time. Inhale, lift the chest. Keep the chest lifted. And then lift the legs as well. Lift the hands to hover. Take 1 more big breath in. Lift up just a tiny bit higher. Exhale, soften everything down. Stack the hands underneath the forehead once again. Maybe give the hips a little wiggle here. Maybe windshield wipe the legs from side to side. Really activating through the entire posterior chain to start off our practice. So they say that the show muscles are in the front, but the go muscles are in the back. So it's all the back side of the body, the glutes, the hamstrings, the back that gives us our power. Now shuffle over a little bit further to the left side if you need to, if you've not got much space either side. Extend the right arm straight out to the right hand side, hand in line with the shoulder. Bend the left knee, squeeze the heel in towards the glute, then roll over towards the right arm, lifting the left knee up and over to open into the hips. Maybe the left knee points up towards the ceiling, maybe the left foot comes to the floor. Play around with the location of that right arm, maybe move it higher or lower until you find that sweet spot where the stretch feels the best. Unravel back through center. Maybe shimmy a little bit further over towards the right hand side if you need to. Then extend the left arm out to the side, bend the right knee, roll up and over towards the left arm. Big opening through the left chest, the left shoulder. Find your breath. Gently unravel, roll back onto your belly, recenter yourself on your mat if you need to. Slide the hands in line with the ribs, ground through the knees, wave it back into a child's pose. Then inhale, round your way forwards, drop the thighs, drop the hips, lift the chest. Exhale, wave it back into your child's pose, hips to heels. Keep it going. Inhale, bring it forwards, upward facing dog. Exhale, wave it back into child's pose. One more each way. Bring it forwards, find your breath in. Wave it back, find your breath out. Pause in your child's pose, give the hips a little wiggle from side to side, have a little shimmy. Walk the hands towards the knees, come to sit on the heels. Bring the knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch if they're not already. Place the left hand behind the left hip, reach the right arm forward. Then inhale, lift the hips away from the heels, reach the right arm up and over. Exhale, sit down, swing the right arm in front, and place the right hand behind you. And inhale, lift the hips up, left arm up and over. Then keep it moving between those two shapes. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale, lower, sweep it through center. Keep it moving. Hips high, heart high, breath in. Hips tap down, breathe out. Find your own rhythm. Find a pace that suits you. Take one more each way. Then sit yourself back down on the heels. Roll over onto the knees, place the hands underneath the shoulders, tabletop position. Then instead of our usual cat-cow, we'll move the spine around in circles. So push the spine up, press the ribs to the right, drop the belly down, then push the ribs to the left. Keep it moving. It's like you're inside a barrel and you want to touch every single edge of the barrel with the torso as you work your way round. Switch direction of the circles. Then eventually spiral your way back to a neutral spine. Bring the left knee ever so slightly closer towards the center of the mat to bring a bit more stability. Keep the right knee bent, but open the right knee out to the side. See if you can bring the knee so that it's the same height as the right hip. Then lower the right knee to tap the left knee. Open it back up, tap it back down. 3 more times, lift and lower. Be mindful that you're not collapsing into the left hand. 1 more time, lift, keep it lifted, and then find some little baby pulses there for 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right knee back in line with the left knee. Then lift the right knee up behind you, point the toes up towards the ceiling. Then bring it back in. 4 more like that. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Last 3, breathe in, breathe out for 2. Last 1, lift and pause there. Once again, find little baby pulses for the count of 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg lifted, but straighten the leg parallel to the floor. Toes point down towards the earth. Then find some little baby pulses here. For 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg lifted. As you inhale, open through the chest. Kick the leg as high as you can. Exhale, round the spine, squeeze the knee into the nose. Inhale to open and kick. Exhale, round and squeeze. 3 more times. Fill the lungs, lift the leg. Empty the lungs, squeeze in. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time. Big inhale. Big exhale, squeeze in, pause there. Step the right foot through in between the hands. Find your low lunge. Pause here for just a moment, feeling the stretch into the hips, settling in, having a little wiggle from side to side. Then keep the fingertips on the floor. As you breathe in, sink the hips even lower. As you breathe out, straighten the right leg, send the hips back, half split. Inhale, bring it forward, hips low, heart high. Exhale, take it back, hips back, heart melts down. Keep it moving, ripple forwards, breathe in. Wave backwards, breathe out. One more time each way, forwards. Take it back. This time, inhale, come forwards, reach both arms up, interlace all the fingers apart from the index fingers. So point the index fingers up to the ceiling, Kali Mudra. Inhale, find a little baby back bend, look up. Pause here for your exhale. Keep the hands interlaced but release from the back bend, breathe in. Side bend over to the right, breathe out. Inhale back through center. Exhale over to the left. Now inhale through center. As you exhale, straighten the right leg and point the fingers forwards, hinging down, arms parallel to the floor. Inhale, bend the right knee, point the fingers up. Exhale, half split, point the fingers forward. Keep it moving. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split. Two more. Breathe in, point up. Breathe out, point forward. Last time. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, half split and pause there. Using the strength of the core and the strength of the spine to keep yourself hovering here. Then if you want an extra challenge, you might see, this is definitely a big challenge, if you can lift the right heel off the mat and tap the right toes to the fingertips. Might not look pretty, but it might be fun, so maybe give it a go. Maybe do two more, lift and tap. One more time, lift and tap, and lower. Now inhale back into your lunge, reach the arms up. Exhale, place the hands either side of the right leg. Kick the right leg straight out behind you, back into your one-legged table. Then this time, add in the left arm, reach it to the front of the room. Breathe in, elbow to knee, breathe out. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze in. Three more, big breath in. Big breath out. Extend, inhale, contract, exhale. Last time, breathe in, breathe out. Now inhale to extend, pause there. Bend the right knee, squeeze the heel into the glute. Sweep left hand around to catch the right foot and kick the foot into the hand, open through the heart. Draw the left shoulder away from the left ear. Really press the right hand into the earth. Take one more big breath in. As you breathe out, come back to your floating table, left arm forward, right arm back. Keep the right leg lifted, lower the left hand down. As you inhale, bend the elbows, tap the chin and the chest to the floor, kick the right leg high. Exhale, straighten the elbows, squeeze knee to nose. Four more, breathe in, breathe out. Big inhale to lower, big exhale, squeeze in. Keep it moving, inhale and exhale. I've definitely lost count, so let's do one more. Breathe in, breathe out, squeeze in. Drop right knee back under the right hip, tabletop position. One round of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, press the floor away, round the spine. Then carry on descending the hips towards the heels. Walk the hands even further forwards, melt the chest down, child's pose. Just a few breaths here. Using this opportunity to catch up with your breath in case you lost that connection. Smooth it down. Find deep, slow breaths in and out through the nose. Walk the hands towards the knees, come to sit on the heels. This time, bring the knees to meet one another. Place the hands either side of the knees. Inhale, open through the chest, maybe look up. Then as you exhale, round through the upper back, lift the knees, squeeze them into the chest. Inhale, lower the knees, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the knees, draw shoulder blades apart. 3 more, big breath in. Big breath out. How high can you lift the knees? Keep it going. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2, breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, big full breath in. Complete breath out as you lift. This time, lower the knees back down to the floor. Roll back into your tabletop position, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Walk the right knee a little bit closer towards the center line. Open the left knee out to the side. Maybe you lift it as high as the hip. Tap it back down. 4 more times. Lift, lower for 3, 2. Last one, lift, keep it lifted. Find some little baby pulses. For 3, 2, 1. Bring the left knee back in line with the right knee. Then kick it up behind you. Knee stays bent for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, lift, keep it lifted. Find those pulses for 10, 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg lifted but straighten the knee. Point the toes down towards the earth. Find your pulses here. Now inhale, kick the leg as high as you can. Draw the shoulder blades together, open through the chest. Exhale, round the spine, knee to nose. Keep it moving. Inhale to expand. Exhale to contract. 3 more, full complete breath in. Full complete breath out. Last 2, inhale. Exhale. 1 more, fill the lungs, lift the chest. Empty the lungs, squeeze the knee in, then step it through into your low lunge. Linger here for just a moment. Give the hips a little shimmy, feel into it on this side. I've got a little bug here keeping me company. They obviously fancied doing some yoga today. Benefits of having the window open in summer. Inhale, sink down into the hips. Exhale, half split. Keep it moving, ripple forwards. Find your breath in. Wave it backwards. Release your breath out. Keep it going. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more like this. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, bring it forward. Sweep the arms high. Interlace the hands. Find the opposite interlace, the one that feels a bit weird. Point the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale, find a little baby back bend. Stay here for your exhale. Inhale, release from the back bend. Exhale, side bend over to one side. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, over to the other side. Inhale through center. Exhale, straighten the left leg, point the fingers forward. Inhale, bend the left knee, point the fingers up. Exhale, straighten and reach. Keep it moving. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. breathe out. One more time, point up, hips low, point forward, hips back, pause there. Maybe if you want to add on that extra challenge, you might see if you can lift the left heel and tap the toes to the fingertips. Might not look graceful, that's okay. Maybe do 2 more. You might find one side is harder than the other. Now inhale, re-bend the left knee, hips low, arms high. Exhale, release the hands to the earth. Kick the left leg behind you, one-legged table. Reach the right arm straight out in front of you, breathe in. Elbow to knee, breathe out. Inhale, expand. Exhale, squeeze. Keep it moving, 3 more. Squeeze in, last 2, expand. Round in. Last time each way, reach forwards. Squeeze in. This time reach, extend, draw left heel into left glute. Right hand catches the left foot. Foot kicks into hand. Open the chest. Maybe look forwards. One more big breath in. Kick up a teeny tiny little bit more. Release, extend the arm, extend the leg as you exhale. Keep left leg lifted, lower the right hand down, bend the elbows, tap the chest down, straighten the elbows, squeeze the knee to the nose. Keep it going. Inhale, lower and tap. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out, squeeze in, pause there. Drop left knee under left hip, send hips to heels, extend the arms, pause for a few breaths in your child's pose. Maybe observe if there are any differences in the breath since the start of the practice, if there's any differences in the body, any differences in the mind. Walk the hands towards the knees. This time lift the hips away from the heels. Come to kneel on the shins at the back of the mat. Bring the hands onto the lower back, squeeze the elbows in towards one another, push the hips forward, push the heart up, then maybe look up towards the ceiling for camel pose. If that feels like enough, stay there. Maybe tuck under the toes so the heels are elevated, then lower the hands down towards the heels, push the heart up. Then to take it further, maybe untuck the toes, bring the tops of the feet flat to the floor. Keeping the hips stacked above the knees so we're not drifting too far back or too far forwards. Push the hands into the feet or the lower back to help push the heart even higher up. One more big breath in. Release on your breath out, lowering the hips down towards the heels. Untuck the toes if you had them tucked. Pause here for a few breaths, observing whatever sensations are present through the chest, the shoulders. Now lift the hips away from the heels so you can tuck the toes back under, sit back down on the heels, stretching through the toes, the soles of the feet. Interlace the fingers apart from the index fingers. Point the fingers up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lean back, look up. Pause here for your exhale. Inhale, neutralize the spine. Exhale, side bend over to one side. Inhale back through center. Exhale over to the other side. Now maybe keep the arms as they are, come back to neutral. And you might release the hands to the earth or keep them lifted. As you lift the knees off the floor, come into your toe balance. Then maybe keep the heels lifted as you come all the way up to standing on your tiptoes at the back of the mat. Then keep the spine straight as you bend into the knees and lower the hips back down towards the heels. Keep the heels lifted. Press all your way back up to standing. Lower all the way back down. Last time, bring it up to standing. Come even higher onto the tiptoes. Then drop the heels to the floor. Lower the hands to heart center. Release the interlace. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up. Exhale, bend the knees, fold over the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, add Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Two more like that. Breathe in, halfway lift. Press the hands into the shins. Release the breath, release back down into your fold. Last time, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Place the hands on the floor. Walk into a high plank. Shoulders over wrists, spread through the fingers. Press the floor away with the hands. Then exhale, knees can be lowered or lifted as you lower either halfway or all the way down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here to settle in. Pedal out through the legs, give the hips a shimmy from side to side, move through the shoulders. Using the movement to create space. Any parts that feel tight, give them a little pedal, a wiggle. Find a deep breath, using the breath to intensify the stretch. Find your way back to a neutral downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg high, a three-legged dog. Then find some little baby pulses through the right leg. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, sweep the leg even higher. Exhale, shoulders over wrists, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Last time, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, then step the foot through in between the hands. Inhale, sink the hips low, lift the chest high, fingertips still framing the right foot. Exhale, extended pyramid, straighten both legs, wave it back. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. 3 more times. Inhale, lift chest, lower the leg. Exhale, wave it back. Keep it moving. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now inhale, bend into the right knee. Reach the arms all the way up towards the ceiling or the sky, high crescent lunge. Interlace the fingers, find Kali Mudra, point the fingertips high. Inhale, find your back bend. Pause here for your exhale. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, side bend over to one side. Inhale through center. Exhale over to the other side. Breathe in, bring it up. Breathe out, straighten the right leg, point the fingers forward, find a flat back. Inhale, crescent lunge, point the fingertips up. Exhale, straighten the leg, point the fingertips forward. 3 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Breathe in. Bend the knee. Breathe out. Straighten the knee. Pause there. A lot of strength here through the core and through the spine. Now keep the fingertips reaching forwards. Start to step onto the right leg and lift the left leg off the earth for Warrior 3 with Kali Mudra reaching straight out in front of you. Come up to standing, point the fingertips up, squeeze the left knee into the chest. Hinge back forwards into Warrior 3, kick the left leg behind you. Moving through that sequence, knee to chest, fingertips high. Leg extends out behind you, fingertips point forward. Keep it moving. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, take it back. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time, bring it up to standing. Pause there. Now keep the left knee bent, but bring the left knee in line with the right knee. So left heel is squeezing in towards the left glute. Left toes point up towards the ceiling. Start to find some little baby pulses through the left leg. For 3, 2, 1. Keep the left leg as it is. Keep the right arm lifted, but release the left hand to catch the inside or the outside edge of the left foot, whatever feels best on the shoulder. Start to kick the foot into the hand, maybe lean forward slightly, find your dancer pose, Natarayasana. Pause here for a few breaths, really kicking the foot into the hand. Doesn't matter if you fall out of it, have a laugh, find the fun, come back in. Slowly start to release from the back bend. Bring the right hand onto the left foot, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling, then kick left foot into right hand for revolved dancer. It's definitely a more challenging one for me than standard dancer. Definitely can't get as far into the back bend on this side, and that's okay. Keep the right hand on the left foot. Bring left knee in line with right knee. Bring left hand to meet the right hand. Interlace the fingers around the top of the left foot. Then start to kick the foot into both hands to really broaden through the chest and the shoulders. Release the grip on the foot, but see if you can keep it squeezing in towards the body. Reach both arms up. Squeeze the left knee into the chest. Drop the left foot next to the right foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Find a deep bend through the knees here and have a little pedal, a little sway from side to side. Letting go of whatever happened on that side. If you fell out of things, if it was challenging, doesn't matter. Let it all go. It's a yoga practice, not a yoga perfection. We're not here to be perfect. We're just here to give things a go and have some fun. Your next breath in, press the hands into the shins, halfway lift. Release your breath, fold back down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Last time, breathe in, flat back. Breathe out, fold. Plant the hands, step back into a high plank, pause there. Then again, maybe knees are lifted or lowered as you come through a chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths to observe your downward dog. If it feels different from the first time we visited this shape, if
one side feels different from the other, if the body feels warmer, more open. Ground through the right foot. Inhale, sweep the left leg high, three-legged dog, then find those little baby pulses through the left leg. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep it back. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, take it high. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Last time, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, then step the foot through into your lunge. Keep the fingertips on the floor. Inhale, sink the hips down, lift the chest. Exhale, straighten the legs, wave the body back. Keep it moving forwards with your in-breath, backwards with your out-breath. 3 more, breathe in, breathe out. 2 more on your own. Back to your lunge. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up. Opposite interlace of the fingers, find your Kali Mudra. Inhale into your back bend. Pause for your exhale. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, find your side bend. Inhale back through center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale through center. Exhale, hinge forward, straighten the left leg. Inhale, bend the left knee, point the fingers up. Exhale, straighten the knee, point forwards. 3 more, breathe in. Breathe out. Last 2, inhale. Exhale. 1 more, point the fingers up, bend the knee. Straighten the knee, point the fingers forward, pause there. Find the strength through the core, micro bend through the left knee. Then lean the weight into the left foot, lift the right leg parallel to the floor, warrior 3 with Kali Mudra, arms parallel to the earth, right leg parallel to the earth. Come up to stand, bend the right knee, squeeze it into the chest. Hinge it back into your warrior 3. Maybe you fall, doesn't matter. Come back up, squeeze in. Find your own pace. Warrior 3, take it back. 3 more on your own. Moving with the rhythm of your breath. Then when you've done your 3, we'll all meet with the right knee squeezing into the chest. Fingertips still pointing up towards the ceiling. Then keep the right knee bent, but bring right knee in line with left knee. Right heel in towards the glute. Find those little baby pulses through the right leg. Keep the left hand lifted. Reach right hand to clasp inside or outside edge of the right foot. Kick the foot into the hand. Find your dancer's pose on this side. Maybe you find your balance is more challenging or less challenging on one leg, so observe how it feels on this side. Lower the right knee back in line with the left knee. Switch hands, bring left hand to meet the right foot. Extend the right arm up towards the sky or the ceiling. Then kick the foot into the hand. Find as much of a back bend as feels supported on this side. Release from the back bend. Keep left hand on the right foot. Bring the right hand to meet the left. Interlace the fingers around the foot or the ankle. Kick the foot into the hand. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Broaden through the chest.
Keep the heel squeezing in, but release the grip. Reach the arms up. Squeeze the knee into the chest. Drop the right foot next to the left foot. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach high. Exhale, Uttanasana, melt down low. Linger here for a few breaths. Find a deep bend through the knees. Inhale, flat back, fill the lungs, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Release the breath, release back down into the fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time, big breath in. Big breath out, plant the hands, step back into a high plank, pause there, find your alignment, find your strong plank. Then lower all the way down onto the belly. Everyone come all the way down this time. Hands in line with the ribs. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, ripple up. Exhale, melt back down. One more like this. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften back down. Bend the knees, squeeze the heels in towards the glutes. Reach the hands around for the outside edges of the feet or the edges of the ankles. Either point or flex through the toes. Then maybe just stay here if you've had enough back bending for the day, or maybe start to kick the feet into the hands. Lift the thighs off the earth, lift the chest off the earth. No need to throw the head back. Keep looking towards the top edge of the mat, so tucking the chin in ever so slightly to lengthen through the back of the neck. One more inhale, kick up even a little bit higher. Exhale, release the grip on the legs. Stack the hands, rest the head down, take a few breaths here, find neutral. Lift the head away from the hands, bend the right knee, reach the right hand around for the outside or the inside edge of the right leg, whatever feels best. Then use your next breath in to kick, lift everything away from the mat, reach the left arm forward, kick the left leg back. Find a big breath in and a big breath out. See if you can stay lifted, but switch hands. Reach left hand around for the foot, that is not easy. Reach the right arm forward and just take one more inhale, kick up on the other side. Lower back down as you exhale. Just got the left side left to do, so take a big breath in. Big breath out. One more inhale. One more exhale. Bend the left knee, reach the left hand around for the inside or the outside edge of the left foot. Extend the right arm forwards. Breathe in, kick, lift everything up. Maybe it's just a teeny tiny little lift, maybe it's a bit further. Then see if you can switch hands. Reach right hand around for the left foot. Extend the left arm forwards and just take one really big breath in to lift. Release your breath as you lower. Stack the hands, rest the head down, take a few deep breaths. Bend the knees, squeeze the heels in towards the glutes and windshield wipe the legs from side to side, left to right. Slide the hands in line with the ribs. Press your way back into a narrow leg child's pose and extend the arms towards the back of the room as you melt the chest down over the legs. Then either stay here in child's pose or bring the hands to cup around the back of the heels. Then lift the hips away from the heels. Maybe bring the crown of the head towards the floor for rabbit pose. Drawing the shoulder blades apart from one another. Breathing into the back body. Release from rabbit pose. Then a few options for getting the legs around in front of you. You can either just sit to one side and swing the legs around in front. You can place the hands either side of the legs, then maybe play around with lifting everything off the mat and swinging the legs in front of you. However you got there, let's all bring the soles of the feet to touch. Knees fall out wide, bring the heels in towards the body. Hands on ankles or feet. Maybe bring peace fingers and thumb around the big toes. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift through the chest. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold down over the legs into your Baddha Konasana. You might press the elbows towards the inner thighs to help deepen the stretch in the hips, if that feels like something that you want to do. And just because you know that you can take a pose further doesn't mean that you always have to. So checking in with what your body needs on each individual day. We don't always need to strive to be the best. We don't have to push ourselves every single time in every single shape. Show yourself a little bit of compassion, a little bit of kindness. Pause here for just a few more deep breaths, releasing a little bit more tension on the wave of each exhale. Melting down a little bit further, hips dropping open, chest softening forwards. Slowly start to draw yourself back upright as you draw your next breath in. Keep the left knee bent out to the side. Extend the right leg straight out in front of you. Sole of the left foot meets the right inner thigh. Right toes point up to the sky. Sounding a bit like Dr. Seuss there with my rhyming. Inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen through the sides of the waist. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold down over the right leg, Janu Shirsasana. And instead of forcing your way into the shape by grabbing the foot, trying to really pull yourself deeper, maybe see if you can soften and relax your way into the shape. Releasing tension from the upper body, the neck, the shoulders. Just letting everything slowly melt down. Slowly start to draw yourself back upright as you draw your next breath in. Place the left hand behind the left hip. Extend the right arm straight out in front of you. Inhale, lift the hips, reach the right arm up and over. Exhale, drop the hips back down. 2 more times. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, soften. Last time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop the hips down, lower the right hand onto the left knee. Maybe the left arm wraps behind the back, finding a half bind, reaching for the right hip, the right thigh. Just here for one big breath in, lift the chest a little bit higher. Big breath out, spin a little bit further into the twist. Unravel, spin back forwards. Bring the sole of the right foot to meet the sole of the left foot. Then extend the left leg straight out in front of you. Activate the left leg, point the toes up to the ceiling. Inhale, lift, lengthen, reach. Exhale, soften, deepen, melt down. Keep that left leg active. So in this shape, keeping the left leg engaged by pointing the toes up to the ceiling and softening through the upper body, just letting it melt down, whereas a lot of people end up doing the opposite, where they're really straining and pulling through the upper body, and then they've kind of disengaged and gone a bit floppy through the left leg. So see if you can notice what is going on in your body, make any adjustments as needed. Draw yourself up now, draw a big breath into the lungs. Place the right hand behind the right hip, extend the left fingertips forwards. Inhale, lift the hips up, reach the left arm behind. Exhale, tap the hips down, reach the left arm forwards. 2 more, inhale, wave up with your breath in. Wave down, release your breath out. Last time, inhale, lift it up. Exhale, melt it down, left hand onto right knee, right arm behind, maybe the right arm finds the bind and uses that to help spin you a little bit further with your breath in. Deepen with your breath out. Unravel back to face forwards. This time extend the right leg to meet the left leg. Give the legs a little bit of a wiggle, releasing from those stretches. Then plant the soles of the feet on the floor, knees point up to the ceiling, hands around the back of the thighs, lean back on a 45-degree angle so you can feel the core engage. Lift the feet off the floor so the shins are parallel to the earth. Extend the arms straight out in front of you. Lower down to hover, breathe in. Bring it back up, tap the heels, breathe out. Inhale, lower. Exhale, bring it in. Last little bit of fire. Lower and lift. 2 more times. Lower and lift. Last time, lower and lift. Now lower all the way down onto the back. Hug the knees into the chest when you arrive. Give them a little squeeze. Have a little rock from side to side. Move them around in circles, any movements that feel good. Really squeeze the knees into the chest so tightly that you can feel them being pressed into the belly. And then find a really big deep breath so that you can feel the legs being pressed away from you with your inhale. Then let them pull back in towards you as you release your exhale. 2 more like that. Big breath in. Big breath out. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Release the legs. Drop the feet to the earth. Then you can either stay in this teepee shape, feet on the floor, knees resting in towards one another, or you can extend the legs out long, landing in your Shavasana. So whatever shape feels the most comfortable and relaxing so that you can spend these last few minutes in stillness. Find any final little wiggles, little wriggles, little shimmies, little shakes that you need Set aside any tension that you're still carrying with you that you no longer need, that's no longer serving you. Let the breath follow whatever rhythm, whatever pace, whatever depth it wants to. Let the breath be soft and smooth and steady. Let the mind be steady and soft and wandering wherever the mind wants to go. Just here for a few breaths. If your mind has wandered off elsewhere, see if you can guide your awareness back to your body, back to your breath. Invite in a few big deep breaths, invite in movement. Whatever's calling to you to start to re-energize through the body. And take your time to make your way back up to a final comfortable seat where we will finish off our practice together. Maybe keep the eyes closed for these last few moments. Finishing our practice with 3 releasing breaths. Inhale, breathe in through the nose, reach the arms up overhead. Sigh the breath out through the mouth and press the air away in front of you. 2 more like that. Big breath in, reach up. Big breath out, release the breath, press the air away. Last time, breathe in and breathe out. Lower the hands onto the knees, pause here. One last moment of integration, appreciation for your practice, for your body. For the rest of your day, I hope that you think peaceful thoughts, I hope you speak peaceful words, and I hope you feel peace in your heart. Thank you for choosing to share your practice with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said at the start, I would be so grateful for any comments, any likes, any subscribes. Hope that you have a fab day, and I hope that I will see you on your mat again very soon. Bye-bye.